Hello, everybody. Um, yeah, the doggone glare from the window again. That I can't do anything about. Um, I found some of my books today. First and foremost, a solitary witch, so I can finally do my Lughnasa ritual. Um, so that makes me happy, but I'm waiting for my alarm to go off. I also found my The Real Witch's Year, and for those of you that may be interested, today, August 17th, is about soulmates and revealing a soulmate in your life. And contrary to popular belief, it isn't always somebody romantic. It could be a good friend, it could be a family member that you have a special closeness to. It's not always just romantic. So just put that out there. This I won't be reading because this is personal about me. But I also found my Buckling's Blue Book. Now, with the Buckling's Blue Book, I will be reading the questions out of lesson one. And if you want to do the lesson, get the book, find a copy from the library. Um, if you don't have a copy, I will, because see, I can't really help you as far as answers because it has to be, you have to read the material to find the answers yourself. Because my answers may be different from yours. So, and this top, yes, I do have my bra on with it, but this is a top I've had for a long time, and it's one of the many things I found when we finally was able to get this place cleaned up. But if you want to do the soulmate spell, get yourself a purple and gold candle, light it every night for a week during the waxing moon. Now, I did look up the moon phases on my phone, and it is a waxing gibbous right now. If it's going to remain waxing for a whole week, I don't know, but you can at least try. Um, if you don't have a purple and gold candle, but you have a purple candle and like a yellow candle, or you have a purple candle and a gold candle that are separate, my suggestion would be to put the two of them together, like literally right next to each other in a fireproof container, of course. Light them at the same time. If you're going to be doing it for a whole week, every night, let it burn for maybe as little as 5 minutes. You can let it burn longer if you like, but keep in mind, depending on the size of your candle and how long it is designed to burn, if you do 5 minutes each day and it's a small candle, you got the best chance of it lasting a whole week. If you do more than 5 minutes and it's small candles, then yeah, no guarantee you're going to have to light two more, and it just seems like, don't make it more complicated than you need to. So I am going to do it myself because there may be a good friend that I just have a particular closeness to that, I just never really thought about it, but because the closeness is there is a very good indicator that that person is a soulmate, just a friend, a soulmate friend, like somebody that you've known from other lifetimes. So let me get over here and see if I've got, by some miracle, purple candle and a yellow candle. Just as I feared. I don't have a single yellow candle. I've got one that's got purple in it, but I'm gonna have to burn a white one next to it. I guess the best one to use is gonna be a tea light. Or wait, no. Oh yeah, just gonna do a tea light. But it's not gonna burn very long. I will also use the white candle here that I have. And I need a holder to put this one on. I know I saw the holder somewhere. Did I do that? Bear with me, guys. I'm trying to find a small candle holder or container or something to put. These two together in. But it can burn down safely. I had a small one that would have been perfect, but oh well. Can't mess around because my alarm's going to be going off very soon. All right. Here's the white candle I'm going to use, and I'm also going to use a tea light. Meow! Meow! And I'm using the white as a stand-in because of the fact that I don't have any yellow candles or gold. So ooh. There goes the alarm. Okay. Like this one is part of it too. Oh, come on, don't be a dud, tea light. Thank you. So, I'm going to light both of the white candles that I have. The tea light, I guess in that respect, I can let it burn until it burns out. And when it does, then the other one will still be lit. So, in the spirit of a personal thing that I'm doing for myself, which I check mark off so I know I did it, is asking if there is a close friend that I know right now that I have a soul friend or soulmate connection with. And this is Saturday, so I'll be doing this today and I'll be doing it all the way until next Saturday. So, should be interesting. And while it's doing its thing, I'm going to do the Lughnasa ritual. So get ready, pen and paper in hand if you wish to write any of this down. I try to read it kind of slow so that gives people time to write it down if they wish. To, sort of start building up your own Book of Shadows or what have you. Lammas, Lughnasa, Lugnasdal. Date, August 1st or 2nd. Now, because of everything that happened, I had to wait this long to do it because things were just chaotic and a mess, and we had a time limit that we were working against. So a lot of my stuff, including all of my witch books, got put downstairs. Meaning of the word, Lammas, or half mass, is the feast of the bread. Nasad, it's supposed to be Lughnasadh, means to give in marriage. And Lu is the name of a Celtic god. Therefore, Lugnasad or Lughnasa means to give in marriage to Lu. Primary focus, bread harvest, first harvest, grain harvest, games of sport, blessing and saning rites, payment of debts, weather magic. Age of holiday unknown. Popular mythos. Marriage of Lu to the goddess berries. Sacrifice of fruits to the soil, depending on your area. Season of hand fasting. Astrological sign, 15 degrees Leo. Fire fixed. Planetary ruler, sun. Lammas is most associated with the first of the harvest celebrations, encompassing hay, grain, and cereal yields, and appears to be best known for its festival atmosphere and temporary hand fastings, marriages that lasted 1 year at the consent of both parties in medieval documentation. Lammas invocation. The king and queen are wed at last, while summer's kiss turns fields and grass to harvest gold and garden gifts. Find sacrifice on earthen lips. Witches gather, hand to hand, power raised along the band. Vortex spiral in its quest, forced to form, I manifest. Debts repaid and games of sport. Weather magic, Thor's retort. Blessing babies, baking bread, stocking up for winter's stead. Witches gather, hand to hand, power raised along the band. Vortex spiral in its quest, forced to form, I manifest. Bonfires, dancing, circle round, fruits and produce from the ground. Offer up a feast of praise, while shadows lengthen in the maze. Witches gather hand to hand, power raised along the band. Vortex spiral in its quest, force to form, I manifest. August sun turns all to bronze, golden children singing songs. Fireflies flitter in the dusk, touching all with fairy dust. Witches gather hand to hand, power raised along the band. Vortex spiral in its quest, force to form, I manifest. Dark Lord melts into the night, taking with him summer's light, merging wishes, law, and might, removing evil from our sight. Witches gather hand to hand, power raised along the band, vortex spiral in its quest, force to form, I manifest. And that's it. Magical ideas for your Lammas ritual, and this is a Sabbath. Bake bread or pretzels, bless marriages, babies, and homes, have an outdoor picnic, make a wreath out of grain to honor the harvest, go camping and perform your ritual in the woods, use the photographs taken over the summer to honor harvest, home, or spend the week before Lammas taking pictures in the country or mountains to make a magical collage of Thanksgiving. The sun in fixed fiery Leo rules this season. Use your magics to set patterns for the coming winter months. Design an outdoor scavenger hunt for younger family members. Each item can represent the celebration of the season. Use the things found to create a simple spell for ongoing prosperity and health through the winter months. Use the tables of correspondences in this book to assist your choices. For example, white clover for prosperity and a creek stone for flow, purification, and stability. So, it is the first harvest. It is a Sabbath. If it's the first harvest, then I don't know if that makes it the first Sabbath. Very possibly. Because remember, I believe there's 4 Sabbaths, and then there's 4 Esbits. Now, the Sabbaths are the strongest, most well known. The Esbits are kind of secondary. They're not as important, but to me, they're all equally important. So, it's kind of however you feel, I guess. But you know me, my philosophy has always been do what feels right, you know, and ye harm none, including yourself. Do what you will, meaning using your free will to do things, and so on and so on. Okay. It's been roughly about 10 minutes. I'm going to let these candles burn for about 5 more, and then I'm going to go ahead and blow them out. Because with tea lights, I don't really know what their standard amount of time is for burning. So anyway, if you want to do these, I will read each lesson's questions. But again, you will have to get the book so that you can read the section to find the answers to the questions. I found a paper in my book here that had the date of, or rather it had lesson 12 on it. So that may very well mean that I only made it myself to lesson 12. But I thought this would be something fun, something kind of different a little bit to do during my Lughnasa celebration here, as late as it is. I mean, August 17th, for goodness sake. Golly. Okay, so get ready. Lesson 1 questions. Number 1, it is often helpful to examine our feelings/attitudes toward a philosophy or topic we are interested in. What is your understanding or feeling of witchcraft? Examine your impressions, preconceptions, biases, etc. How have your reactions changed regarding witchcraft throughout your life? So just write the question down and don't worry about the answers till later. Let's just get through the questions in this section first, and then you can, if you can find the if you feel that you can answer the questions by going within, wonderful. I would suggest you could even try something like, say you can't get to the library, or say you can't get your hands on this book, don't have the money, whatever the case. Do a meditation and let the spirits know that this is lesson 1 out of the Buckland's Complete Book of Witchcraft, or what I call the Blue Book, the Buckland's Blue Book. Question 2. There are many different denominations of witchcraft. Information is found on these in Appendix A, so don't worry about that again unless you have the book. Based on what you know at this point, which denomination do you think you would like to practice and why? Question 3. I'll give you a few minutes because I know some of you can't write that fast. But again, you could always pause it for the different sections, write it all down. Question 3. The earliest conceptions of primitive magic dealt with sympathetic magic. How can sympathetic magic help you today? In what ways can you foresee using it? List some possibilities. Question 4. Make a tape recording outlining the principles of witchcraft that you intend to adhere to. Keep the tape for future use for recording favorite rituals on. Speaking out loud helps to consolidate beliefs and make them clearer to you. Okay, hang on a minute. Gotta blow these out. Okay. Let me mark this off so I know I did it. Okay, next one now. Oh, I haven't done that one yet. Whoops. My bad. Anyway. Well, I am working on that one. Anyway, I was looking at a time slot. Okay. Now, examination questions for lesson 1. So there's 2 sets of questions. There's 4 lesson 1 questions that I just read, and then there's 10 examination questions. So now these are going to get more into the different sections that you're supposed to read in the book to be able to find the answers. But again, if you think you can find the answers from within yourself and write them down, or you can feel what they are, write them down. And don't worry about if it's wrong, because you're learning, right? So you're not doing anything wrong. The God and Goddess will understand. Answer in your own words. See? Without referring back to the text. Do not go on to the next lesson until you are entirely happy with the previous one. Answers to the questions are to be found in Appendix B. Okay? You can tell I haven't looked at this book in a while. And I'm also, in the spirit of Lughnasa, I'm also doing this in honor of Raymond Buckland, who is no longer with us. I don't remember how long ago he passed away, but in my little autograph book, his autograph is literally the only one in it right now. So, okay, first exam question. Which two deities were most important to early woman and man's existence? Question 2. What is sympathetic magic? Give an example of it. Question 3. Where did Pope Gregory build the early churches and why? Question 4. Who or what was Jack O the Green, or Jack of the Green? Number 5. What was the witch's hammer and who was responsible for it? Number 6. Who was the anthropologist / Egyptologist who, in the 1930s, advanced the theory that witchcraft was an organized religion? 7. When was the last law against witchcraft repealed in England? Question 8. Who was the first witch to speak up for the craft? A, in England, or B, in America? Number 9. What is a witch's only animosity towards Christianity or any other religion or philosophy? 10. Do you have to belong to a coven to be able to work a spell? No. I can answer that one. No, you don't. There's no one on. It's just me. Okay, so that's it for lesson 1. Now, the next time I'm on here, I will write down in my weekly planner. Rather, it's this one, which is, pretty common. Okay, where did my bookmark go? It should have been in here. Why isn't it? Okay, there it is. Good. I haven't written in this thing since 8/2. So, the day after Lughnasa, basically. Anyway, let me get these pictures out of here so I don't lose them. I've been meaning to put them somewhere and I just haven't figured out where yet. So, to remind myself now, I'll even write it in. Okay, where's my red one? Here, there it is. Okay. I'll write it in red so it'll stand out more. 17, 24. Did live stream the soft ritual red lesson 1 questions. Look at the trap on it. Bucklands. Book. Okay.
Can you believe this thing is 100%?
Next
Unbelievable.
time I do a live stream, ST questions from Blue Book Lesson 2. Okay, so basically what I did was I wrote down today's date and wrote down that I did a live stream. I did the Lughnasa ritual and I read lesson 1 questions from Buckland's Blue Book. And even though I wrote down tomorrow's date, that doesn't mean that I'll be on here tomorrow. I can't promise that. I will try, but I can't promise that, okay? Next time I do a live stream, read questions from Blue Book Lesson 2. And then I wrote below that Buckland's Blue Book, so I know exactly what book I'm talking about because it's the only one that I refer to as the Blue Book, is Buckland's Blue Book. Lesson 2. But yeah. Ritual. Day 2. Started 7-day. Okay. Don't forget. Is there anything I need to put in that category? Do. I hate when you get that tickle in your throat. Dang it. Okay. Now. Oops. Oh well. Yeah, I already did that today. So now, the next one is going to be I know. I went through my special book today, my little brown one that I said, this is personal, so I won't be reading from it. What did I do with it? Okay, it's down there. It has a system that you can use to figure out perfect, like the luckiest day, the luckiest days, the luckiest hours of the day, and the types of things you can work on for those days and at those times. but it's a system I'm not even going to try to explain because a lot of you'd be like, huh, what? It's from a book. The little brown book that I showed was a book that I got years ago that I still, I don't think I've ever rewritten it, but I need to rewrite it because this original was typed by the person that did it for me, and I don't want to lose any of the information. So by having it in my own hand, of writ, which means my own handwriting, write it down in a notebook or whatever, then I won't have to look at the original so much anymore. And hopefully, by not handling it as much and referring to the backup copy that I'm going to be writing for myself, then I'm not going to possibly wear some of the words away, some of the letters, because I had to actually take an ink pen and redo some of the letters and stuff in some of the words because they had faded so unrecognizably almost. I was like, oh crap. So I just took an ink pen and I redid the letter. So it's not very well protected. But as part of the service of doing the book, it's it comes with this planetary chart and this time chart. And for each day of the week and for each month, there are certain times, there are certain number combinations that once you know them, you can unlock unlimited potential for yourself. It's like a very personal kind of thing. So now my next bit of magic won't be until this evening, and I've only got two other things because there's only four major ones. There's, best hours for love, best hours for family. I'm sorry, I forgot the one for work. It goes best hours for love, best hours for family, best hours for work, best hours for money. Um, Lucky numbers for each month. There's like a certain set of lucky numbers that you can use all throughout that month. So it's a very extensive, it was well worth what I paid for it. And I don't even remember how much that was, but it wasn't that much. And this was, like I said, so many years ago. Um, okay, I can write that one off because I did it. And then when my alarm goes off again at 3:46, I will, you call it cheating a little bit, I guess. Just, but I don't think it will do any harm necessarily. Um, I may relight the candles, or I may just wait and then do it tomorrow. You know, they're just supposed to do it for 7 days. Um, so I've only got two other major things today that I have to do, and they're both in the evening. So once my 3:46 alarm goes off, then I'll shut it off, and I will just redo my schedule for tomorrow. But you also have to know when the sunrise is each morning, because each morning and with the different times of year, it's going to be it's going to vary. So you want to do it right, you know. And for now, I'm just going to put all these together. This is the time when I need a paper clip. Yeah, I could tape them together. I could staple them together, but yeah. All right, let me put them in. I guess I'll put them in the back of the book here so I don't lose them. So anyway, sorry it took me so long, but at least I finally got the Lughnasa ritual words said. You can do your own type of ritual stuff later. It's completely up to you. Me, I will probably maybe try to do one this evening. Uh, you know, like more personalize it and celebrate. I don't know if I can do any of the ideas it suggests in the book of like ideas to do today, but I may do like my own kind of personal ritual and light a candle for Raymond Buckland and like I said, to honor his memory on this day because I only got to meet him once and now he's gone. So I I wanted to honor him in some way. And my little autograph book I'm going to start carrying with me in my purse. And when I'm out and about, especially like when we go to an event where there's different psychics that you could talk to, and whether or not you sit down at their table to do a reading, some of them will still talk to you because I've had a couple of them talk to me. The last event that me, Normia, and Christy went to, which was back in uh, I think it was in April. I can't remember. I think it was in April. But anyway, every year they usually have the event like in Cincinnati. It's what we, or at least I, refer to as the big event. Like it's the biggest, one of the biggest ULEs that they do, Universal Light Expos. That's what they will always be known as to me. No matter what kind of name they put on them, to me, they will always be known as the Universal Light Expos because all the way back to however many years ago when I even first started going, that's what they were known as they were known as the Universal Light Expos. So it kind of stuck, that terminology with me. Now I want to say November 2nd and 3rd, I believe it is, of this year, we are going to attempt, me, Normia, and Christy, to go to the more normal size event at the fairgrounds because it's close to home. You do have to pay to park. You go in, you pay your $20, you get your bracelet, you can put it on a bag, you can put it on your wrist. I always save my bracelets and then I'll write on the back of it, which is usually white, the date and the event. So this one will be considered the GOLE, Gift of Light Expo. GOLE. GOLE. So that's what I call it. That's what I refer to it as. But it's still the same event. Now, because it's a smaller event, the way they do things is they have the vendors are usually on the main floor. That's where your psychic readers are going to be. That's where your bits and bobs are going to be that you might want to buy or whatever, really in photography and all that kind of stuff. And then if you go up to the other floor, that's where all the panels are. And they usually have, like, you can get a program or whatever that will tell you everything that's going on, what vendors are there, or you can just walk through the vendor section yourself. But it's the first thing you see. As soon as you sign in, the table is right next to the door that goes right into the vendor rooms. They have elevators. If you can't do steps, they do have elevators. So you can go up to the second floor, figure out what panel you're wanting to go to or whatever, workshop. Some of them, they call them panels. Some of them, they call them workshops. But basically the gist of it is they will discuss a certain topic, and that's all that will be discussed in that room for a certain time slot. And then when it's over, you go do something else. I think what I'll do, since I kind of goofed today, it's nothing major though, is when my alarm goes off at 3:46, once I shut it off, as soon as it goes off, I will light the white candle, this one, and just ask for, let this spell work, give it all the power that it needs to work, because it's just, it's a fun kind of thing to play around with, and it's very generic. It's universal. You can use it for family, you can use it for friends, you can use it for lovers, you can use it for, people that are married to each other. Oh, that's why we got together, because we're soulmates. There's so many types of soulmates. They're not just all romantic, which I think a lot of people think that that's the only kind of soulmate is a romantic one. No. There are soul friends, There are soul family members that you've had other lifetimes with that you will find yourself running into in other lifetimes, like this one. And then you'll be like, why am I so drawn to this person? Well, you've probably known them before in another life. And say you guys strike up a conversation, you become best friends instantly. And then you will start feeling, why do I feel this? Or why am I thinking this? Or why am I thinking of this place? Why do I want to go here? That's all parts of the you that you were back in that lifetime that you had with them before this one. So it's a very universal, it all depends on what your mindset is. If you strictly want it to be a romantic soulmate, you're looking for the right one that you've been looking for your whole life, um, you then do it. Say, I want to know who my soul friend is. It might be somebody you haven't met yet. And then once you find out who your soul friend is, you get a name. It's like, okay, how do I meet them? What are some of their interests? Can I run into them in a coffee shop? Can I possibly run into them in a library? Can I run into them at a mall? That's where you really start getting very specific and detailed what you need to do, where you need to go, a time slot, or all that, so that okay, if you go to this place at this time on this day, bam, there they are. But you have to be open to them. You have to say something along the lines, let my soulmate be revealed to me today. Let me strike up a conversation with them and let us hit it off really well. Let us just, as soon as we see each other, it's like, oh, wow, and then we smile and then we start talking and I feel like I know you, there's so many ways a conversation can, start. So have fun with it. And, work on the questions whenever you feel like it. You don't have to do them right now. You can wait until I get through all the lessons. And if you want to know how many lessons there are, let's see. What is the last one? Okay, that's appendix. Gotta get past the appendixes here. $15. If I'm reading this right, let me double check. Yep, there's 15 lessons in this. I thought there was more than that. That's funny. And guess what the 15th lesson is? I gotta laugh at this. I gotta chuckle. Solitary witches. Well, that's what I am. Even though I do have a coven. Coven Moon Dance is mine. Yay! Which I still haven't figured out some of the finite details of how to make it a new coven, how to get out there, how to get noticed, how to get people, recruits, people that want to join, people that really do feel drawn to the craft and they want to have the experience of being part of a coven. I just don't know when that time is going to be because, let's face it, let's be real here. Life is chaotic sometimes. You can organize it to a point, but then there's other times and other things that happen, like the major cleaning that we had to do and the time slot that we had to do it. And I was just so upset because of how much stuff I had to put down in the basement, but I can go down and get it anytime I want. I only brought up a handful of books that I think at this point should be literally all that I need right now anyway. The lessons are fun because it can help give you a direction to go. It can help you to gravitate towards what type of witchcraft maybe you want to do. Do you want to be a part of a coven? Do you want to just start out being a solitary? And that's fine. That's how I started out. and I'm still a solitary. So, um, but I also have a coven. So primarily solitary, secondary coven. You know, um, and it's like I've got all this magical makeup, stuff that I'm trying to make up that has gone undone because things just got so crazy. This is my pink chiffon sanitizer, and it's almost gone. And I'm kind of a little bit anxious, to get it going so that I can start using my Halloween ones, which you guys will like this guy. He presses his head, his eyes light up and flash. Isn't that cool? And I have Ghoul Friend sanitizer in his because on the front of it, it shows a skull with a pink crown on it. So that's a female skull. And of course, my kitty cat here. But my kitty cat don't do anything. You don't, you can press on her head and she don't light up or nothing. And this one I have sweet cinnamon pumpkin. And these are the scents and such that you can get right now at Bath and Body Works, but you better hurry because the stuff's going like crazy. I mean, it's like literally, you might as well say flying off the shelves here. Um, because I got a bunch of hand soaps over here on the shelf. I might show them to you a little bit later. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be on here, but when I do a live stream, it varies. Sometimes I'll be on here for a couple of hours. It all depends on if I run out of things to say and talk about or not. Other times I'm on here for 20, 30 minutes and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm just going to go. But I got, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 of them left, and I had 7. I gave 2 of them away, and I'm hoping that the 2 that I gave away, those particular scents, I will still be able to get again. But payday's a long ways off, so I'm hoping that they will, they'll wait for me, and I'll be able to get some more of the little Halloween sanitizers, and like they've got this little hearse that's for these little sanitizers. I don't have that one yet. They have one that is a ghost coming out of a pumpkin. They have one that's just simply a ghost. They have some really nice 3-wick candles, but those things are like just one of them's over $20, so that's a little, I mean, yeah, to me, they're worth it, but they're a little pricey, and especially if, because the most I would be able to get would be maybe 2 of them, and then that would be literally if I went in there and just bought 2 of the 3-wick Halloween specialty candles, that would be $40. I wouldn't be able to get anything else because $40 is a lot of money, and it would be over $40. So I will get the 2 cents, the soaps that I gave away. It's funny, and interesting and fun because when you look in the bottles, they look like liquid. So you're like, well, as soon as you pump it, isn't it going to just how do you use it as soap? Well, it's liquid in the bottle, but the minute you pump it, it turns into foam when it comes out of the bottle. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes it interesting. So if you want to get some really cool Halloween stuff right now, find you a Bath and Body Works. They usually have the Halloween stuff right up front. Grab as much of it as you can while it's there. Because I'll tell you, man, some of the sanitizers at some of the Bath and Body Works locations at different malls and stuff that I've gone to already, they go like quick, like really, really, really quick. Um, There's some of them, sadly, I probably won't be able to get. But as it gets closer to Halloween, and maybe even a better time would be after Halloween, like any straggler bits they have left, hopefully they'll cut down the price. And I will definitely snatch as many of those as I can if there's any left. But I'll tell you, man, they've got candle holders that are really cool. They got really cool purses. They got sanitizers. They got these little, I think they light up, and then they have these little, they're like air freshener things that has the little bottle. It's like a refill, kind of like ones that you plug in, and then the scent, you smell the scent for a while until it's gone. They have those. They have this, one of the things I would love to get is they have this, it's a haunted house, which is the idea. It's about yay wide. It's really neat looking, and I forget exactly what it does, but that thing is expensive as hell. So expensive, as a matter of fact, the only way I might possibly be able to get it is if I waited till after Halloween and got lucky and timed it right, got in there and got literally the last one they had, and I could get it for like $10 or something, then I'd be like, snatch, mine. But today, I had to resort to drinking what I refer to as Chris's espresso, because he makes his coffee so strong that if I don't drink like some Pepto-Bismol before I drink a cup of his coffee, it upsets my stomach every time because it's just too strong. So it's like the equivalent of going to a Starbucks and getting like a single or a double extra shot of espresso, So today I put some of my cappuccino powder in here, and I'm counteracting the sleepiness from the topiramate, which is the weight loss med that I'm on, doctor certified, and I'm supposed to take twice a day. But here lately I've been cutting it down to one a day because I keep forgetting to take my second one at night, an hour before I go to bed. Make sure I have at least some kind of decent food on my stomach so it don't upset my stomach, and drink an entire bottle of water, like, even just a 16-ounce bottle of water. And because it says take with plenty of water, and somehow I guess the way the topiramate does its thing is you've got to have plenty of water, and that's how it circulates through your body and helps you to lose the weight. But I'll tell you, the hardest part is because of how much it makes you go poo. Because after several times of going poo in a single day, even though on the one hand I'm glad to be rid of the stuff, but after a few times of dumping, then your tissue back there starts burning. At least mine does. It starts burning because it's like overused. It's like you're not supposed to dump this much, during the day. Not normally that I know of. I've been trying to get up and keep myself more active. Like, I'll be sitting here in the living room and I'll look around and I'll think, okay, is there some kind of small things that I can maybe do or something, just because it needs done. But I have to keep messing with my top here because it's a nice top, and yes, I am wearing my bra with it, but I have a brown skirt somewhere. I don't even know if I'll even run across it. I haven't yet, but I used to wear this certain brown skirt with this top, and they literally looked like they were made for each other, even though I bought them at two different stores. They looked like they were meant to go together. It was really neat. So whenever I would wear this top, I would wear that skirt with it, and I haven't seen that skirt in a long time. So I don't know whatever happened to it. But because of my weight and everything, I don't even know if it'll fit me anyway right now. And somewhere downstairs in the basement, if I can find, I'm guessing it's probably going to be in the big storage things. It wasn't in the small one, which is the one I had to go into to find my books today. So it's probably going to be in the big one. And I don't know how hard or easy it's going to be to get to, but hopefully it won't be too hard to get to. I want to go down and get my waste cincher that ended up getting taken down there that I did not want taken down there. But because we were in a rush and we were trying to hurry up and get this stuff cleaned up to the point that our landlord / slumlord could come in and spray for the roaches. We just had to hustle, you know. Boom, 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 boom. Took us a week and a half. And by my book, it took us basically about a week and a half just to even pull this off.
Cleeka, come on. Cleeka, get in your spot. Good girl. Yeah. Squeaky. Boo. And Bella.
That's Daddy giving the brats their crack. Giving them their treats that they get every day. Nobody's on. Yep. Gives them treats every day.
Can't see it. Too much glare.
I can see it. But anyway, yeah, he literally gives them treats every single day. Which I just want to smack him upside the head sometimes for doing that, because we go through them a lot because of that.
There are babies. They deserve them. Even if they are bright sometimes.
Not when they're being bad, they don't.
And they behave themselves for me when I give it to them.
Yeah, they just go right to their damn spots. When I try to give it to them, they fucking scatter like someone dropped a bomb in the middle of them. Laugh if you want. I don't think it's funny.
That's all right. Bella has to have Daddy take him out when he goes outside.
Yeah,
He rarely comes in for anyone else except Daddy.
Well, that's not uncommon either. And Boo's never been outside, so he's still with us. Well, yeah, none of our cats other than Boo. Bella has been out, but Boo he's still with us at least. He's still alive. I'm glad, but he's still skin and bones, and that just still bothers me. But we just cannot afford to take him to a vet right now, or believe me, I would have done it by now. Because I don't want him to die. We don't know what's going on with him. We don't know if it's a blockage. We don't know if he's dying of cat leukemia, cancer, or something. Or
you might need to want to pick up 3 in oil.
Yeah. And tomorrow I'll get my food stamps. So once I get my food stamps, we're going to have to go do a major grocery shop because our cupboards are getting bare. Itch. And right now he's probably in there getting ready to fix dinner. Do dishes first usually is how he does things. He does dishes first, puts away the clean ones, sets the dirty ones on the counter, and then gets the water going, and then he puts them in and does them, I guess, little by little or whatever. And just as kind of a random thought, I did a witch hazel spell recently to help boost my confidence, and I guess it did okay, but I don't think I used enough of the herb, and I need to either get a bigger pouch to put some in, or I need to borrow Normia's bathroom and do like a hot bath and get a decent sized pouch if I have to take a wash rag and sew up 2 sides and leave one open to fill it, and then be able to tie it shut and then drop it in the water, so you don't have the mess of having to, rinse yourself off when you're done, because you don't want to walk around with witch hazel leaves sticking to yourself, because that just looks weird, and people go, what is that all over you? Kind of thing. Which they probably wouldn't understand. Oh, it's witch hazel. Why? Self-esteem boosting. You know, witch hazel is good for a lot of things, but I particularly use it for self-esteem. Now, you guys may like read books or may have looked it up and said, "Well, I've never seen anything about self-esteem having to do with witch hazel." Well, it's all in the power of the witch. If you're powerful enough, like I am, you can use herbs in ways that normally would not be used in that way, and they will still work. It's all up here. It's about the focal point. It's about your intent, your emotion, your reason for doing it, which is along with the intent, your focal point, and your belief. You've got to believe. Not only do you have this power, but it will work. Because after every spell that I do, I always say, "And may all astrological correspondences be in harmony for this working. So be it." That way you're covering everything. Moon phases, planet alignments, everything. It's like it brings it all together so that whatever you're using the herb for, it will do what you're asking it because you asked it and you knew how to ask it. But, next time I do it, I will try to use a larger amount. I will, like I said, possibly go down and use Normia's bathroom. Use her tub because she's got a nice big tub that you can actually have a hot soak in. I had a little pouch that I put some herbs in and I rubbed it all over my body when I was taking a shower. I had candles lit, I had incense lit, the whole shebang. But it was such a small amount, I feel like it wasn't enough. So, hey, trial and error, It just goes to show that you can be a seasoned witch like me and you can be very powerful, but you still have difficulty with some things. So you still learn. You're always learning. And if something don't go right when you do it a certain way, then try another way. Or if you've tried it like several different ways and it just doesn't seem to work, then maybe it's not meant to. So just leave it alone, let it go, focus on something else, My alarm will be going off here soon. So happy Lughnasa to anybody that is a subscriber to my channel that believes in the craft and is in fact a witch that is, learning their own path and everything. And I can't think of a better way to honor Raymond Buckland's memory than using a favorite book of his that I own, and you can tell by how worn and tattered it is that I have used it a lot. I've read through it. Have I read through the entire thing? Probably not. But I'm a natural witch, so I was born a witch. I don't really need a book to tell me how to do something. But sometimes it's nice to read like past histories of how things were done, way back then and so on and so forth. So now Raymond Buckland probably, I don't think in this book there's a Lughnasa ritual or ceremony, but at least there was one in my Solitary Witch, and that was my focal point when I went down to look in the small storage shed. There it goes. Okay. Now I'm going to light this. Let it burn for a few more minutes. Let it burn for a while. It's kind of a universal candle, so I try to give it a multi-purpose when I do light it. Let the recent spell that I've started have all the power that it needs and help me to remember to do the spell every day for the next 6 days now, because today was the first of 7 days. So I got to do it tomorrow and the next day and the next day, all the way up to next Saturday, which next Saturday will be the 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. It'll be the 24th of August. So it'll be interesting to see who it turns out to be. And I'll probably be like, oh, well, I already knew that. I could have told myself that. But it was still fun to do, because it can also, another way to look at it is it can also draw you to people that you're meant to be drawn to, that you're meant to meet again in this lifetime, because there was maybe something unfinished that you guys never got to finish. There was maybe an upset in the family that caused you guys to have a falling out. This is a way to heal that, because the more of our past that we can heal, however, to whatever point, because I mean, you can't just go back and make everything okay again. No, but make it more bearable. Take a negative and turn it into a positive by using the time now to heal what happened then to cause the falling out. See what I'm saying? So there's many different ways that you can use magic and spells, and you can practice spells, you can do spells and magic and rituals. And newsflash, you don't have to be a witch to do it. If you are a witch, it will enhance the power of the spell, absolutely. But doesn't mean you have to be a witch to practice magic or do a ritual, because you don't. There's so many different types of religions out there that have their own version of a ritual. Some of it's just simply meditation. Some of it, I'm still on my self-mastery journey. I haven't wore my Moldavites in a while, so I need to start wearing them again. And my Green Man uh, pendant, because I put them on a piece of crocheted yarn, and then I have to tie it around my neck, kind of tight. I had to take one of my necklaces off because since I've taken it off, my energy, I feel a lot better. I was like really negative today for some reason, and I was in a really, really foul mood, and I didn't know why. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? Why am I upset? What reason do I have to be upset? Is there something going on with somebody else that I know that's upset? Because sometimes I can't always differentiate when I'm feeling somebody that's close to me that's maybe having a bad day, or if it's actually feelings that I'm feeling because it's things that are triggering me or things that I need to deal with. Um, and once you find, okay, say like if it's something that triggers you, which I found out in part at least that it was, no reason to go into details, but just that when you find things, different things that trigger you, write them down, and then take the time to inner reflect and go, okay, now why does that bother me? Why does that trigger me? Is there some kind of past event maybe that happened either in this life or another life where a similar situation happened and it happened so much that I just got fed up? Or is it something altogether different? So but the more you inner reflect on such things, especially when it comes to triggers, the more you can, in my opinion, find the strength to overcome them to where they don't trigger you anymore. And you're like, I'm a boss. I'm a boss lady, man. This is cool. I'm good. Next, handled, and I don't even need CBD oil to do it. Or Harrelson's Own, which I have wanted to try, but I've been hearing some not so good stuff about it, so I don't know that I ever will. And their prices are a bit much, in my opinion. Um, and supposedly somebody that did research about it said that, I think they give you like supposedly on the advertisement, when you see it on TV, they say that they give you like 60 days to try the product or something or another. And if you don't like it, let them know. They'll refund your money. And people said they don't make good on that. They don't refund the money of the person that's saying, I don't think this is doing nothing for me. It's not doing shit. I want my money back. I did have, that reminds me, oddly enough, I don't know why, but maybe I'm supposed to say this for a reason. There was a recent event that happened to me one day when we were at the mall. It was me, just me and Normia, and um, actually it was a couple weeks ago, several weeks ago, I think, maybe even as much as a month ago by now. I don't know. That because I've been using these detox pads uh, on the bottom of my feet once in a while, and I think I got down to where I only had maybe one or two left. So I got to remember to get some more when I get my check the end of the month uh, to keep doing that and getting more toxins out of my system, but also warrant caution when I do that because of what happened. We were at the mall, and I decided to take a THC enhanced gummy that was 150 milligrams. And I mean, that's pretty powerful. I have met people that have taken 3 a day, and now you're talking 450 milligrams. I don't know how they do it and don't die, but I took one that day. I had plenty of food on my stomach, thought, hey, I got this, I can handle it, no problem. Got back to Christie's, and it waylaid my ass. It scared me so bad. I literally felt like I was floating out of my body, like my astral self was trying to float out of my body. But the feeling was so intense. It really, really, really scared me all the way up to when I laid down to go to sleep that night. It was like it enhanced something in me many different ways, like mentally, um, emotionally, scared me to death. Spiritually, I was too scared to see any kind of spiritual connotation. Uh, and that I think was because all that time that I had been using the detox pads on the bottom of my feet, it drew the detox out so that when I took it, it slammed me like bam. And I was like, what the hell just hit me? Was someone get a number of that truck, or that tornado or that train or cyclone or whatever the hell it was? It really scared me. So be careful when it comes to those things. Um, I've only got a few left, but I had to resort to putting them in the fridge because they had been sitting in varying temperatures in the apartment here, which is usually hot and dry. And they all kind of melted together into a big glob. So the only way that I'm going to be able to make them individual little squares again is I would literally have to rip open the foil package they're in, cut them individually apart, and put them in like separate containers or something. I don't know, separate little baggies or something like that, just to keep them from mushy melding together again. But this one wasn't one of those. It was one of those, but it didn't have any mushed together with it. It was just a single gummy. So ever since then, I'm a lot more careful. I haven't taken a gummy since because I don't want another scare like that. Um, and I'm not saying that Harrelson's own doesn't work. Maybe it does. Maybe it depends on the person. Maybe it depends on the type of item they use. I know they have gummies, they have smokables, they have maybe even some liquid type stuff that you can put on a spoon and put in a drink and drink it down and feel the effects and whatever. And yes, this is one of my Halloween cups. It's got a cute little witch on it there with purple hair and such. I don't remember if I've ever drank from this cup or not, so I thought, well, today's as good a day as any. But I'm drinking Chris's espresso because that's what I call it. Because this shit is so strong, it's like, yowza! But so far, so good. Mixing it with the cappuccino certainly helped. And I even added a little bit of sugar because I usually do honey and cinnamon when I drink something hot, including tea, whatever kind of tea it is. And if I put sugar in it or anything like that, I always do my honey and my cinnamon. So, yeah, I'm going to let this candle burn until 4 o'clock and then blow it out. But while I'm thinking about it, I would also like to take this opportunity to send continued love and support and strength to my daughter, who is, going through that rough patch right now, and she's worried about her kitty, about her cat, Widget, that isn't doing good, and she's afraid that she's losing her, and I certainly hope she doesn't. But if she does, then maybe it's just Widget's time to go. Sadly, I hate to say that or think that or feel that, but I mean, I don't even know how long she's had Widget. Um, but pets age just like humans. They're born, they grow, hopefully have a good life and a loving home, and then eventually, yeah, they're gonna die, and you can't stop it. It's part of the cycle of life. Um, and I know that she's been like really sad and crying a lot here lately because she's worried about Widget, and I understand. So I also light this candle for her. I light it for all of you, asking for nothing but good things to all of my subs, and thank you for being my subs, because I've got 18, so I'm slowly climbing up there, I guess. um, and yeah, it would be really the ultimate, of course, would be the day that I somehow, by some miracle that only the God and Goddess can help me find within myself to bring about, um, end up with 1,000 followers, 1,000 subscribers, to where I can start getting monetary donations. Then, yeah, I mean, I'm going to be able to get better equipment, maybe do some kind of paranormal stuff, because right now it's just really difficult to do a whole lot of paranormal stuff. I mean, I do have some apps on my phone that I can use to a point, but it's not quite the same as going out and doing an investigation with a team and, stuff like that. Lay down, Kalika. Come on. You're getting on my nerves. Um, Ow, please quit digging into my leg. I'm wearing a skirt today, and it's very thin, and it doesn't feel good when she, digging her claws into my leg because she thinks she's going to fall off my lap or something. Like I would let her do that. Never had any reoccurrences with my surprise guest that sat down at my table that day, August 13th, and I just feel like that's just a missed opportunity, and it's probably never going to happen again. And I need to stop kicking myself over it, because it's not worth, wasting a bunch of energy and wanting it to happen again. And finding myself looking for her every time I go to that mall. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. It was a fluke. It was an accident. I should have been more mindful that day, but I wasn't. Should have talked to her more, but I didn't. And now, well, here we are, and I don't know how long it might be, or if I will ever literally see her again. And that's unfortunate, because it would have been nice to have her as a friend, for sure. Especially when I found out when her birthday is and everything, because that would make us compatible. We would be like fast friends, like right away. Um, and I would like to think of her as a possible soul friend. We'll see. We'll see what my lovely spell reveals. Thank be and blessed be, and may all astrological correspondences be in harmony for this working. So be it. There you go. Um, Trying to think if there was anything else that I wanted to talk about, that I wanted to say. I don't think there is. And he's making dinner, so we're going to probably be eating soon. I don't know how soon or anything, so I guess I'm going to call this a wrap. And I've been on here about almost an hour and a half. So that's good enough. I covered all the bases of the main things I wanted to cover. So stay wild, my moon children. Be good to each other and others, to everybody else. And then I only say that because not all of you are moon children, not all of you are witches, and that's fine. Thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for checking out my video. And happy Lughnasa, as late as it is. I had to do it today. Blessed be, and see you next live. Bye.